Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the IELTS Speaking Mastery. This is me, 𝐀𝐝𝐦𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐢𝐬𝐬 joining you from 𝐒𝐿TS Academy. Yes, it's a beautiful Monday morning, and we've come with yet another IELTS Speaking Live, and I hope you're all ready to learn. So, in this live, we will be discussing different types of questions. We'll be discussing part 1 questions, obviously, but part 1 different questions on different topics. So you will get a complete idea about how to answer each question and what all contents to give, like what ideas to give, and because different people have different problems when it comes to IELTS speaking. Some people struggle with getting ideas. Maybe they're usually introverts, they don't talk much, and they don't really have so much to speak. So for those people, they really struggle with ideas, and for some other people, they actually have problems with expressing the ideas. They already have ideas with them, they're really talkative people, but they find it hard to express themselves in English. So that's another group of people. So I will be trying to address all these types of people, and I will be giving those kind of explanations so that you will find it helpful. Like all different people in different categories will actually find it helpful. Whatever be the problem that you're facing, I would say you should focus. First step is identify what your actual problem is and then work on that, okay? That's something which you should be doing. So today I'm going to handle this in a different way. I can tell you a topic first, and then you imagine, you know what kind of questions you will be seeing in your IELTS speaking, so you have an idea about what all questions to expect. So first thing that you have to do is you have to spend some time, think about that topic, and think about what questions would come and what you would say. Just give it a planning, all right, just like how you would do for your part 2. And you won't get time to plan your answers for your part 1, but still, now when you're doing it, just give it some time so that we get beautiful answers. And then you can type in, when I ask you questions, you can type in the answers in the comments, and I will be correcting it and helping you with that. All right, so the first topic we have for the day is pets and animals. Maybe some people are so into pets and animals, and some people may not be into that much because they don't have a love for pets or animals, or they're scared of it like me. So whatever it be, when any question, the first question mostly that you would get is, do you like pets? Or what kind of pets do you have at home, and why do you like pets, and what are the types of pets that you would like to have in the future, or what is the best thing about having a pet at home, or what are the worst things about having a pet at home, or what's the negative part about taking care of an animal. And different types of questions you'll come across. Even if you say you don't like pets, you may have to answer all these questions, or even if you think you have no interest in that, and you have no idea about it, you will still have to answer it. So take a couple of seconds and think about pets and animals, like the questions that I mentioned now. Try to have an idea and this is especially for those people who are struggling with ideas. Just think about the best ideas possible. I mean, I'm not saying you have to come up with the best ideas, but you need to have some ideas on which you can develop, on which you can talk fluently, and those ideas which would help you express your proficiency in the language, okay? That shows your pronunciation, your coherence, that shows your grammatical range and accuracy, that shows your vocabulary, and things like that, okay? So you have to look at those things, and these are the 4 assessment criteria, and you have to fit into those things, and that's important. So I'll give you just a few seconds, or maybe 30 seconds to 1 minute, so that you can think about it, okay? Just I'm asking you to plan. Just have a plan. Okay, I would say this. If this question is asked, I will say this. I'll develop on this. Just have an overall idea about it, okay? And then we'll move on to this. Okay, so all of you think about pets. The topic I'm giving you is pets and animals. Just make some notes if you want. This is part one. I know you won't get time. This is not going to be a practice for your exam for sure, but make sure you do it. Okay? Yes. Think what you can do. Okay? You done? Yes, are you thinking about it? Yes, I have some comments. Yes, goodbye. Hi, Cynthia Maria. Good morning. So happy to see you all here. Yes. So I hope you had enough time to think. Now we'll move on to the questions. All right? Yeah, I'm not giving you a lot of time because you are not going to get this time for your exam. So now I'm saying this, I'm looking at different approaches. I'm trying different ways to help you answer these questions. Okay, pets and animals. All right, pets and animals. First question. What's your favorite animal? What's your favorite animal? Why? Here they're not asking you about a pet, but they're just asking in general. What's your favorite animal? Tell me. Let me know in the comments. There are different ways in which you can answer this question, right? Definitely. Because different people will have different favorite animals. But talk about one that you would be able to build at least 2-3 sentences. For example, if you say you like housefly, you'll have to think why you actually like it, right? If you were saying a random name, then it's going to be really hard for you to just build on that. Or if you're going to talk about an animal that you've no idea about, things are going to be really hard for you. So go for the one that maybe you don't like it, or maybe it's not your favorite animal, but you know certain things about it. For example, you can say, my favorite animal is dog, because dogs are very loyal, loving, and sweet, and they stay with you no matter what. And even if you wouldn't have anybody with you, even if you don't have anyone with you in your life, these dogs will be there with you, being very loyal and kind and sweet and loving. So, and they make us feel really great every time they come and hug us or wave their tail for us when around. They make us really happy. You can say something like that. Or you can say, my favorite animal is tiger, because it's the national animal, and I've been hearing it since my childhood, hearing about it since my childhood, and I've always been fascinated by the royal look it has, and by the designs on his body and stuff like that. So I've always had some kind of fascination towards tigers. So here I've given an answer that dogs are my favorite animals. I love them because they're loyal, loving, and cute. They have a remarkable ability to help people stay happy and mentally healthy, spreading positivity and warmth wherever they go. So how will you say this? The dogs are my favorite animals. I love them because they're very loyal, loving, and caring. And also they have this remarkable ability to make people stay happy mentally and physically, and spreading positivity and warmth wherever they go. Okay? They have this ability to spread positivity and warmth wherever they go. Okay? Yes. Let's move on to the next question. What is the most popular animal in your country? You can talk about any animal. See, they are not expecting you to have done a research and find which is the most popular animal. You can even say dog is the most popular animal. You can say cats are the most popular animal because cats are there in almost all states, and so everywhere you can find. Or maybe dogs would be the ones that you can talk about. So, or if you want to go for a different animal, for example, tiger, you can say it's popular, but you should also add a point about why it's popular. All right. So you're telling what's the most popular animal in your country. I think the most popular one would be tiger because it's the national animal and people seem to know about it so much. They've been learning about it since their childhood, and there are a lot of tiger conservation programs happening in different parts of the country. So the government expects people to be part of it. So I think it's kind of popular because of all the programs that the government is conducting to conserve tigers and to popularize it, because it shows the strength and it represents the strength and courage of our nation. So we are really the government does so many things to popularize it. Okay, and it's very popular. And I was giving you an answer like this because if you look at it, some of the facts are not really true. I mean, some of the things I mentioned are not really true. But that's fine. I mean, it's not that that's not true. Maybe our government has a lot of tiger conservation programs and they're planning so many things. We do have such things, but it doesn't make tiger really popular among everyone. That's not one of the major reasons why it's popular. But if you look at the facts, but you are saying that in your answer, but that's perfectly fine. Okay. So what matters is if you have fluency and coherence, if you have good grammar, if you have good vocabulary, if you have good pronunciation, then your answers are going to be correct. There is nothing like right answers and wrong answers. This is not a GK test. Of course, try to avoid blunders, and we wouldn't want our examiner to think that we're so stupid. So we will try our best to avoid blunders, but you can say things like that. You can build up stories there, which is perfectly fine. It's all about how you're able to express yourself in English. Okay? Let's see the answer. In my opinion, the most popular animal in my country is the tiger because it is our national animal. People hear about it from the time they start school, and they continue to see it in the news and other places. Dogs are also very popular in India as pets. Next. Have you ever had a pet? And again, you can have two answers for this. One is, of course, I've had a pet when I was little. That was a little puppy that my dad got me on one of my birthdays. It was the cutest and sweetest dog I had ever seen in my life. But then it died after 2 years, and that completely shattered me. And ever since, I haven't taken any animal as my pet because it's really hard to overcome the heartbreak. Okay? So, or you can have another one. Have you ever had a pet before? Another way of answering is no. I've never had a pet because I'm so scared of animals. I love animals, but I can't be really close to animals because I'm really scared of them. I know some animals don't even attack you, or all that they know is to love. All that they know is to just love you and take care of you. But even then, I'm really intimidated, and I'm really scared by animals like that. So I've never had a pet. Or you can say for hygiene reasons, I'm really allergic to the animal fur soap, and I'm really allergic to animals because if I'm around some animals, I get some kind of irritation in my body. So I'm advised by the doctor to stay away from animals, so I could never take any animal as a pet. All right, let's see. I've never had a pet in my life, though I would like to have one in the future. The reason I haven't had one yet is that I'm very scared of animals, even though I love them. Even the cutest and sweetest dogs and cats scare me. It seems to be some kind of phobia. I plan to overcome my fears and get a pet soon. Alright, this is a beautiful answer. 2 to 3 sentences, good vocabulary, conveying the meaning, prompt, answering to the question, no grammar mistake, and if you have good pronunciation, you're going to get really good score for this answer. Your answers don't have to be too long, but if you want to say, like I've mentioned before, even if you think you want to actually share a lot of things, what I can tell you is convey the main points first. Because if the question is about, do you like chocolates? You shouldn't be like talking about cocoa beans and stuff like that. And later plan to say that you like chocolate. No, first you have to answer the question. And in the first 2 or 3 sentences, you must have actually completed it. And the remaining things you're just adding on. Okay, if that's the case, that's perfectly fine. Because even if the examiner might stop you after 2 or 3 or 4 sentences. So if you haven't answered the question yet, you may not get marks for it. So if you've already answered and then you're adding a point and then the examiner is stopping you, it's perfectly fine. You will still get marks because you've already answered the question. It's just that you couldn't conclude it properly. But it's always beautiful to conclude it. So when you're answering a question, make sure you also try to conclude it. I have a plan about like you'll be answering it in 2 to 3 or to the max 3 to 4 sentences. So try saying that, and then different examiners have different approach, because some examiners, they stop really quick, and some questions they stop really quick, some other questions they sit and listen. So that might happen because when they understand you know to speak about that particular topic, then they move on to the next. So that has happened. I've seen that. So what you can do is when you listen to the examiner, or when you sit in the examination hall and when you answer 1 or 2 questions, you'll understand their style. Okay, they're giving me time to talk, finish my answers. They're giving me time to talk 2 to 3 sentences, or they're giving me enough time to speak 3 to 4 sentences. So depending on that, you move. So another way of answering the same question, that means the same content but different way of presentation. I've never had a pet in my life, though I'd like to have one in the future. I haven't had one yet because I'm very scared of animals, even though I love them very much. Even the cutest and sweetest dogs and cats scare me. It's some kind of phobia, I guess. I will somehow overcome my fears and get a pet soon. Where do you prefer to keep your pet? Indoors or outdoors? Where do you prefer to keep your pet? Indoors or outdoors? Again, you can have 2 or 3 types of answers for this. I'm telling you on content-wise, you can have a couple of types of answers. First one, you can say, I like to keep my... See, instead of the word prefer, you can use a different word like I like. Well, I like to keep my pets indoors because once you get a pet, and when you have a pet with you, they become your family. They become part of you, and it's more convenient to keep them inside. And once you keep them indoors, then I don't let them out alone other than when I take them out for a walk or something. So they would be mostly indoors, being one of our family members, being a family member, or being a member of our family. Okay, Or you can say, I love pets so much, but I don't like to keep my pets indoors because it's not really healthy, both for the pet and also for the family. Because in family, we might have older people, we might have children, babies. So some kind of things from these animals could be allergic. Maybe their fur, their hair, or something could be really allergic to people. So I try to keep them outdoors. Okay? I don't have a pet now, but if I ever get one in the future, see, this is a third way of answering it. I don't have a pet now, but if I ever get one in the future, I would prefer to keep it outdoors rather than indoors because I think it's safer. Animals might carry bacteria and parasites even if they're vaccinated or given proper medications, which can be harmful to humans. Keeping pets creates a risky environment for the people living in the house, especially children, older adults, and those with low immunity. Therefore, I prefer to keep pets outside regardless of how clean, cute, or loving they are. You see, in this answer, I've written more than 3 to 4 sentences, right? I mean, more than 3 sentences for sure. But if you look at it, imagine your examiner is stopping you. After you said I don't have a pet now, but if I ever get one, I will definitely keep them outdoors rather than indoors because I think it's safer. Animals might carry bacteria and parasites even if they're vaccinated or given proper medications, which can be harmful to humans. So till there, when you said the examiner stopped you, you may still get pretty good marks for that answer if you have fulfilled all these assessment criteria. And then you're giving the additional information. Keeping pets inside creates a risky environment for the people living in the house, especially children, older adults, and those with low immunity. Therefore, I prefer to keep pets outside, regardless of how clean, cute, or loving they are. Okay? Let's look at next one. Headphones. Headphones. Do you use headphones? Okay, this sounds like a very silly question, right? Do you use headphones? But some students find it hard to answer these kind of questions. They get stuck after saying they use headphones. They don't know what to say. So you can say when. Here you cannot answer because they might be used to answering questions with why. Because, okay, for example, do you like something? You also add 2-3 sentences on why. Now, when this question is asked, do you use headphones? You can say why? Because I like it. Or because it's good. Like why? I don't have an answer. But you can say when. For these kind of questions, you can answer it with when. For example, answer it with when means, I'll show you. Do you use headphones? Well, I don't use headphones much because headphones hurt my ears. So I try not to use them all the time. But if I'm in an important meeting and they tell me it's important that I use audio quality, that they get really good audio quality, I make sure I use something like noise cancellation earphones or something like that. But I mostly don't use earphones for the pain it gives me to my ears. I can't tolerate earphones or headphones for that matter. Well, I don't use headphones except during emergencies because they hurt my ears and give me a headache. I'm very uncomfortable when I use them, so I only use them when I'm in public or when I can't manage without them. Okay? I don't use headphones except in emergencies because they hurt my ears and this is another way of expressing the same content. I don't use headphones except in emergencies because they hurt my ears and give me headaches. I'm very uncomfortable using them, so I only wear them when I'm in public or I absolutely need them. Question number 2. What type of headphones do you use? What type of headphones do you use? Okay, so imagine if you are someone who has no idea about different types of headphones or something, but you know like the basic things, the wired ones and the non-wired ones. Do you know that? Then that's all you need. But if you are somebody who knows about different types of headphones, then you can talk about it and you're rich with ideas here. But if you are someone who's like me, who's no idea about all these technical things, then I would talk about the wires and the non-wired ones. We all know about it, right? So I use both wired and non-wired ones, but I mostly use the wired ones because they provide better sound quality. And especially as I mentioned before, I use them during meetings and where sound quality is very important. And when you use the Bluetooth ones, they don't provide the quality that the wired ones are able to provide. So I mostly use the wired ones. And the brand that I use is Samsung. Or you can say some brand. Okay. I still use old-fashioned wired headphones because I feel they have better sound quality and don't hurt my ears as much. In this era of Bluetooth headphones and earphones, I believe wired headphones still outperform Bluetooth ones. The audio quality is simply incomparable. The wired ones outperform the Bluetooth ones, and the audio quality is simply incomparable. Next one. Even now, I stick with next different way of answering the same question. Even now, I stick with old-fashioned wired headphones because I find they offer superior sound quality and cause less discomfort, don't hurt my ears as much, less discomfort for my ears. Despite the prevalence of Bluetooth headphones and earphones in today's era, I believe wired headphones still excel in delivering exceptional audio quality. Next one. When would you use headphones? Like I mentioned before, I mostly use them during meetings, and I also use them when I'm in public and when I have to listen to some private message without other people hearing it. I use headphones, and also when I'm checking some of my works and their sound quality, I use high quality headphones to make sure the content I've made is of good quality, because sometimes I make contents which have to be checked and assessed for its quality. As I mentioned previously, I use headphones only in emergencies or when I absolutely need them. This includes situations where there's a lot of noise around and I can't hear what's playing on my phone or laptop clearly. Additionally, I use them during important meetings and calls that require high quality audio. Question number 4. In what conditions you won't use headphones? I wouldn't use headphones if I'm actually talking to someone, because I think it's important that you give complete attention to the person who is talking to you when they are actually talking to you or when they're actually having a conversation with you. And I also don't use them when I'm out on the road, because whether it be me driving or walking, I make sure I don't use earphones because that can distract you. The music or whatever you're listening to can distract you and cause accidents, and it's very risky to use such things when you're on the road. And I also try not to use them when my ears are not healthy or when I have some kind of ear infection, because I wouldn't want to put a lot of trouble on my system. I don't use headphones when I'm talking to people because I think it's important to respect the person speaking by giving them my full attention. Similarly, I avoid using them while driving or crossing roads because those are the times when I need to hear things clearly and maintain full concentration. Okay? Next one. I refrain from using headphones while conversing with others because I believe it's crucial to give them my undivided attention. Likewise, I avoid using headphones while driving or crossing roads, as these situations require clear hearing and complete focus. Now let's look at the next set of questions. Those are shoes. Do you like buying shoes? How often? Again, you can have different types of answers, right? Some people would say, I love to buy shoes quite often. I buy it every month because I have a craze for shoes. And every month when I get salary, the first thing I do is I go buy a shoe for myself. It would be of different brands or different colors. And now I have a huge shoe collection. Or you can say, I buy it once in 2 years or so because I'm not a huge shoe fan. So when I buy one, I make sure I use it till it is worn out. So I buy it only once in 2 years. When I buy it, I make sure I buy a really good shoe. So the frequency is really less. I generally, an I is missing. It's not that this G is like this. I'll put a high I there. Okay. Generally dislike buying shoes because finding the right pair is a tedious task. Most of the time when I go shopping for shoes, I end up choosing the wrong ones, which makes the experience very stressful for me. As a result, I prefer to avoid buying new shoes and use the ones I already have until they wear out. Thus, I don't buy shoes often. I buy them only once in 3 years or so. Question number 2. Have you ever bought shoes online? Okay, so again you have 2 answers. I've bought shoes online or I haven't bought shoes online. So if you're saying, yeah, I've bought a pair of shoes online, and it was not a really good experience because they showed a size on the site, and when I booked it and when I received it, it was not the same size, so I was not even able to use that shoes. And shoes and all, when it comes in different sizes, you wouldn't be able to use it if it isn't your perfect size. So and then I tried to return it, and their policies were like really stringent and really crazy that because of so many reasons they said, which I don't even remember now, I couldn't return it properly. They were like, the product was tried, you tried the product and stuff like that. So I was like, I did not use it. It was just that I tried it on to see if it fits me. That's all I did. And they said, okay, that product can't be returned. So it was a really bad experience buying shoes online. Or you can say, I haven't bought any pair of shoes online because I don't trust online purchase when it comes to shoes, because shoes are the kind of things that you have to go wear, try, and then buy. Because if it's not the perfect size and if it's not of the perfect comfort, you wouldn't be able to use it at all. So comfort is very important when it comes to shoes, and the size is also very important. So I prefer going to some kind of offline shop and buying it. I've never bought shoes online because, as I mentioned, I usually struggle to find the right shoes even when I try them on in a store before purchasing. Therefore, I don't trust buying shoes online. I'm confident that I wouldn't receive the right pair if I were to purchase them online, and it would likely be a waste of money. You can make use of these answers. You can try an answer of your own. You can record it. You can check it with these answers. And if you want, you can make some changes with the grammar or the content or something, just to make it look better. I've never purchased shoes online because, as I've mentioned, I often struggle to find the right pair even when I try them on in a store before buying. Because of this, I lack confidence in buying shoes online. I'm certain that if I were to purchase shoes online, I wouldn't receive the correct pair, resulting in a potential waste of money. How much money do you spend on shoes? I usually spend around 2,000 to 3,000 rupees on shoes because I don't think it's worth to spend more than that on a shoe. So I mostly spend that too once in 2 years. So it's not a lot of money that's being spent on shoes, but I just buy a good quality shoes that's in the range 2,000, 3,000. I don't opt for high-end brands when it comes to shoes. I typically spend only between 1,000 and 2,000 on a pair. After all, shoes are for your feet, and it doesn't matter to anyone else if they're a prestigious brand or not. So what matters most is whether you find them comfortable and if you like them. I usually buy shoes during sales and make sure to get a good deal within the 1,000 to 2,000 range. The same answer said in a different way in 2-3 sentences. I usually don't choose high-end brands for shoes. Instead, I typically spend around 1,000 and 2,000 rupees on a pair. For me, comfort and personal preference matter more than the brand recognition. I often buy shoes during sales to make sure I get a good deal within this price range. Question number 4. Which do you prefer? Fashionable shoes or comfortable shoes? Of course, you can have 2 types of answers. Of course, I prefer comfortable shoes because when it comes to shoes, comfort is really important. Because you have to walk with it and you have to wear it for a longer time. So if they're not comfortable, then it's going to ruin your day, your mood, and it is even going to affect your productivity. So I make sure I buy comfortable shoes and I prefer them. Or you can say I prefer fashionable shoes, or maybe fashionable shoes that are comfortable, because it's important that you wear shoes that look really good and that go really well with your costume and stuff like that. It completes your look. And so I always prefer fashionable shoes over comfortable shoes. Or like I said, you can say fashionable, comfortable shoes that are fashionable. Any way of answering is fine. I prefer comfortable shoes over fashionable ones because fashionable shoes are often only usable while they're trending. Once they go out of style, they become impractical. Comfortable shoes, on the other hand, are always reliable and make life easier. It's a hassle to wear fashionable but uncomfortable shoes. Public gardens and parks. Public gardens and parks. Would you like to play in a public garden or a park? Now that I'm a grown-up, I like to play in a public garden where you can sit and play some cards or some other kind of games with your friends. But when I was a child, I preferred playing in the parks. These questions are for you to try on your own, and I'm not giving answers for you. All right? What do you like to do when visiting a park? Now, again, like I mentioned, now that I'm a grown up, when I visit a park, all that I do is I observe these beautiful, cute, innocent kids playing and enjoying their time. So that gives you some kind of peace and relaxation, and that makes you look at life in the easiest way, because they don't care about what's going to happen to them in the future. They're just living the present, and that's a huge message that you get when you look at them. And I sometimes go sit there and watch these kids playing and enjoying the moments rather than worrying about their future and or regretting about the bad days. Or I'm not sure if kids have had the bad days. They might have also had their own bad days, but not regretting about their bad days. How have parks changed today compared to the time when you were a kid? I think most of the parks have had a lot of changes over these years. The most important one would be that they have new equipments for kids to play. They have new things for kids to play, focusing on their health and the things that they should be doing, the kind of movements that should be making, and the things that are exciting for them. And interestingly, what you can find is most of the things that are coming up, the new things that are coming up, are also giving a lot of importance to the safety of the kids, like creating cushioned beds under the wall climbing area, and they're protected, they're taken well care of by the new equipment, or they could be really safe. Safety is the priority. That's what we can see in the that's the biggest change we can see in the parks now. Would you prefer to play in a personal garden or public garden? Now that I respect my privacy so much, I would love to play in a personal garden, or you can even say a private garden. Now that I care about my privacy so much, I would like to play in a private garden rather than in a public garden, because you could be yourself without being judged by other people when you are in a private garden, because it's just you or your close ones, your loved ones, and who wouldn't judge you really badly. Like if you go to a public garden, and you will have a lot of people judging you the things you do. For example, if you feel like doing a bit of fun stuff like running and playing with water and things like that, there are chances where other people would judge you. I would say the hypocrites who would judge you. Okay, so if your answers go this long, what can happen is the examiner might stop you in between. It's okay, don't worry, don't think, okay, my marks is 0. Now, because I know students who've got 9 on 9, and they share the experience like this. They were stopped by the examiner in between, but they still got the marks because they were stopped there, because the examiner might be stopping you because the examiner has gotten what they actually want from you. Okay, they don't want to listen to the whole answer to judge you, or to put marks to assess you, not judge you, assess you. So they're stopping it once you say that. All right, then they're moving on to the next part. That's it. So we covered different types of topics today. We talked about pets and animals. We talked about public gardens, private gardens. We talked about headphones, and we talked about different topics. Okay, I hope these questions were helpful for you, and these gave you different ways of answering these questions. And we'll meet again in the next live. Make sure you practice these questions once again. You spend some time, and then you're done with these topics, and I'm sure if you get these topics for your exam, you will be able to write it really well. So we will meet again in the next live, which will be on next Monday at 10 a.m. Stay tuned for that. Bye bye, take care, and have a wonderful week.